Great. Thanks very much, Ryan, for helping me out with this. So this
Hi, no problem.
it'll be about 20, 25 minutes. And what I'd like to do is talk with you and towards the end, take a little break so that I can have a little time to think about what you shared with me. And then I'll come back with some feedback and possibly a couple suggestions. Does that sound okay
Sure.
with you? Great.
hmm
So I'd like to start. What are your best hopes for this conversation together? So at the end of it, you feel like it was worthwhile to have it.
I'm looking for a way to connect my food choices, to get through, to connect my food choices to my chronic pain and overcoming that by putting good things into my body. It's a commitment, so it's a process, and I'm looking to just jumpstart the commitment to good food choices for a holistic approach to treating my body good.
Great. So it sounds like you have already really connected how food choices can help with the chronic pain that you're experiencing. Um, what difference would it make to have like a commitment to jumpstart from?
Because then when I hit, if I have a commitment to it, I'm not going to quit when I hit plateaus and things might not go as planned. Um, I'm sorry, can you do this again?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. No, this is great. This
Okay.
is great.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk on camera very
yep,
well.
no, this is great. We're you're doing great. Thank you. Um, so that commitment, so that in like moments of where you're not as into the food choices, then you're still staying committed to those changes. Is that what
Yes,
is that
for a long-term change.
okay? Okay,
Yeah.
so a commitment to long-term change.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you tried so far that's been useful?
I've used the examples of the things that I have changed for the better. My water intake is really great, and I've seen positive change from that. Um, and that's something I've been able to stick to because the results were immediate. They were holistic. There's, good skin, good bathroom. I have stomach problems, so the water helps that. I have chronic migraines. It helps that. So seeing something that I've employed work, it makes me want to try and do the rest, make it a whole picture.
So the commitment that you have to your water intake, you say your water intake is great, which is really impressive because we can see all the memes about hydrating. So
Yeah.
that is something a lot of people struggle with. How long have you held that commitment to your water intake?
I'd say 2013 is when I started doing it the way you're supposed to.
Mhm.
That's when I had the beginning of chronic migraines. It helps them considerably, and I never look back. It helps everything, actually.
So 2013, it's like 8 years that you've had this commitment, you've stuck to this commitment for water intake.
Yeah.
What what helps you on the days where you just don't feel like drinking water to stick with that commitment?
Um, it has become a habit, and that's the best thing because habits are done, whether good or bad, they're done almost without thinking. So the more good habits you can do, automatic default, the better, which is why I want to make food a part of that.
And how did you make water a habit? Like what were the first little things that you did before it became a
Um,
habit?
Literally keeping all kinds of containers everywhere.
Mhm.
Just dollar store containers, everything in my room. There's one in the bathroom. I mean, like, it was like everywhere. I was drinking water in the shower, and all of this helped my migraines. So just keeping it at hand, and basically that's the thing that's easiest to reach for. I didn't buy anything else. I
Mhm.
stopped pop, and I never looked back from that either. Stopped drinking sodas. So
So it sounds like the first small steps were really making sure water was really accessible to you and you had it
Yeah.
everywhere and at all times.
Yes.
And is that something you still do? Like, do you drink water in the shower?
Everywhere. Yeah, no, I have so many containers. People give me more because they know I need them. Because you do lose them when you carry it everywhere. Making sure you're in your bathrooms, you know, things like that. But and it's a plain. Obviously, water's not fun. So, you know, it's not. We do it because we need to. It's not one of those fun things, you know. So it does take some getting used to.
And you said that it really has had your water intake has really had a strong impact on your health, your skin
Yes.
and stomach and migraines.
Yes, I have chronic pain, stomach problems, migraine pain. It helps both of those things. It helps digestion, and it helps energy levels, which is something I really struggle with food choices, and that's something I'm trying to work on now. The
Mhm.
food choices.
Now, you just listed a bunch of things that water helps with. Did you research those things before, or did you just find them out as you were going along?
I found out as I was going along. You tend to learn it. A lot of migraine pages. My neurologist was very big on this. And so I followed it, you know, when I first started having chronic migraines. I haven't always had them. That was around 2013. Um, so that was the one good thing, though. Started the good hydration habit. And
Yeah, and really stuck with it. That's
yes.
really impressive. Um, so around your food choices, I have a little bit of a different question. So imagine that we finish this conversation and you go about your day and then you get ready for bed, drink a bunch of water, I'm sure, um, and you go to sleep. And in the night, something magical happens, a miracle happens, and all the issues you're having, the struggles with commitment for food choices, all of that, your problems have disappeared, but you don't know that they disappeared because you were sleeping. So when you wake up, what would be the first things that you would notice that were different, that would indicate that this miracle had happened?
I would want to move. I would want to get out of bed. My pain levels wouldn't be immediate upon waking up. Um, and basically, just an energy level change for morning would be the first thing.
So you'd want to move, get out of bed. You wouldn't be feeling the kinds of pains that you were feeling, and you would have more energy. How would I, like, if I were a fly in that room, what would I see you doing differently that would indicate that you had more energy or that you weren't in pain?
I would be actually checking my phone, reaching out to the people that message me in the morning. Sometimes I don't answer my messages. Uh, I would be getting up, actually cleaning, opening my blinds, letting light in. Something else I have trouble with. And I would just start cleaning, you know, making sure things were the things you would normally do in the morning. I don't get to usually do those things.
And what would, like, Desi, your dog, what would Desi notice on this miracle morning that was different than other mornings?
Usually she'll lay outside my door and wait for me. So I would be letting her in a lot sooner. Um, she does have very empathetic. She can tell when I'm sad or depressed or hurt. Dogs are very good at that. Um, so she would notice my mood change. And she'd probably have more energy herself. She'd want to bring me along with her to do the things that require energy, and I'd be able to do those things.
What are some of those
Um,
things?
on good days, you know, we do better with walks. On good days, I can play with her in the house. I'm just, you know, it's contagious when you have good energy. Other people feel better. Dogs, people feel better in your presence. So it definitely is an energy level change that I'd be looking for.
Great. Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is the miracle hasn't happened, no parts of the miracle have happened, to 10, this miracle has happened. Where are you on a scale of 0 to 10 today in regard to this miracle?
I mean, I tend to hover around a 4 with my pain, and I hope for, 6s or 8s. So probably around a 4.
And what's a small next step that you would need to take to get to a 6, 7, 8?
I want to take better control of my food and medicine intake. I want to pay more attention to that, be mindful of that. And it is all related, the food, the water, the medicine, and I that's why I say holistic, because I'm talking about my whole body, my mental health too, all those things, and keeping those in check.
So you really see how your food choices, water intake, the medicines that you take, all, and your mental health are all connected in this way.
Yes.
And it sounds like you're really committed to making these changes.
I am now. Yeah.
So tell me a little about what it would look like for these food and medicine intake changes.
Adaptation to things like not being able to get around to stores, and fruit and vegetables has gotten more expensive. So planning better. There's definitely planning elements to this. Just like the water, having these things on hand, you will reach for good things if you have them there. You reach for the bad things if they're there, because they're both going to give you a reward. What's the closest thing at hand? Get your energy reward. And I luckily love fruits and vegetables, so it's really just making sure I have those things on hand. I've just begun this, and so far so good. Not having as much chocolate on hand, that is one of my that's something that's hard for me.
So it sounds like you just said that you've already started to make these choices. You've already done some of this planning. Tell me a little about that. What does that planning look like?
The things that I love to eat, and I put together to put those together and have them when I'm stressed out, I can reach for those. And it's easier than going to the store and buying chocolate ice cream. I'm not going to walk to the store and get that. So if I don't, buy it to begin with, I'm going to reach for the good stuff that's there. So far, I've done really good having not letting my fruits and vegetables go to waste, because that's something I think that happens to a lot of people. The good intention of something that goes bad so quickly, you lose sort of the impetus to put something good in you, and it goes bad. It's a waste of money, and it's sad. I put them out where I can see them. I take them out of the package. I've got like 5 kiwis just chilling on my cupboard so that I can reach for it, and I'm eating them because they're there. And I'm like, oh, look, a kiwi. So that's working.
Mm-hmm. How are you?
You got fruits and vegetables sitting all over, but I'm eating.
Yeah, but how are you making that happen? Because I know people, myself sometimes even, where I'll go to the store and I'll get all this healthy food, and then I'll come home and I don't want to eat any of it. So how are you planning so that you have this? It's all accessible, and then you're really making the choice and not something else.
I did have I do have chocolate still in the house. I took that and I used to have it on my nightstand. That's a bad idea. So I took it away from where I could grab it like that when I'm the most sad or the most depressed in the morning or at night. You can't put carrots on your nightstand, but you can take away the chocolate. I'm a lot less likely to get up on my meds and go search for chocolate I've hidden in the cupboard but if I desperately need it, that, you know, I'll know where it is. This has helped me not eat so much late at night at all, which is good. And I read a thing where someone switched around their refrigerator and they put the things that they needed like in the front and in the door. And they're like, if I need mustard, I don't really need that in the front in the door. People just do it. It's a thing we do. Our parents did it. So I took everything and I just moved it. Put the stuff that I needed. So there's like hummus in the front. I'm not gonna eat spoons of mustard. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really simple and great idea. It sounds like you're doing a bunch of those. You know, taking away the chocolate from your nightstand, changing up how you have access to things in the fridge. And it sounds like you're like Googling things, you know, different ideas to try to incorporate, and you're really willing to incorporate those ideas. So that commitment that you were talking about, like on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 not at all committed to 10, you'd marry this, you know, food change. Where are you on that?
My commitment is an 8, and I don't want to let it get below a 6 as far as this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just in the last week. Like I've really my weight's changed in such a way where I didn't need to pay as much attention to these things till now. My energy has changed in such a way, you know, you get older, so that this is a new thing, but I am now committed to it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm realizing it now.
Yeah, and 8, that's strong.
It's my commitment to it. And I know that that's going to go to a 6. I know there's going to be 6 days where I feel like a 6 in commitment. It's realistic. But yeah, the worse food choices I put in, the worse I'm starting to feel. Well, my body's now telling me, don't do that.
And that's really how your water worked for you too, that you started to see these positive changes. You could feel the difference in your body with better water intake. And now you're also feeling the difference in your body with different food choices.
Yes, I know that's what's going to happen. I do read enough to other people are saying, hey, this helps this and this helps that. In order to not let it get overwhelming, I'm doing one thing at a time. Like if I try to cold turkey, no chocolate, that's not going to work.
Really smart. So how are you? What's one thing? I know you've mentioned different changes. Is there another one thing, like the next one thing that you want to do?
Yes. And this is a thing that I would like to stick to and make a habit and make easy. And the good thing is I already have the gear for it. A lot of times people say, oh, I can't go out and buy such and such. I have a really great smoothie machine. Well, it's not even out of the box yet. It's just like, oh, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to do. I'm excited about this. When I feel like my body's like, make the smoothies. So there's just so many things you can do. And it is easy. It comes off in your hand. I mean, it's, you know, and they're delicious. I mean, give me something I can't taste spinach in. That's great. Fill that with raspberries. That's great. So like, this is good. But I haven't taken it out and started it yet. So that is the next thing on my list.
Do you have an idea of where you want to put it once it's outside of the box?
No, not yet. I mean, I could think about it kind of, sort of, but I haven't planned that yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how about where I'm going to pause the video, take that 5-minute break, think about what you shared with me. And while I am thinking about that, how about you think about where you might want to put your smoothie maker?
I will do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I'll be right back. Okay. All right, Ryan. So I have a couple things. I am really impressed with your commitment to your water intake and the way that you were able to sustain that habit and how you formed it in a really creative way, finding, you know, small little things that you could do that could support you in making these changes. I'm impressed with how you know yourself and how you're really able to connect the choices that you're making with water and food, and how it connects to your mood and your energy, and really viewing yourself in a holistic way. I'm impressed with how you gather information, whether it's from your doctor, your neurologist, or people on the internet or forums that you're searching for new ideas that you can incorporate. I'm impressed with the small changes that you've made, that you've sustained, like rearranging your fridge and putting your fruit out so that it's easily accessible. And how you connected, how you made the change in your water intake to this current change that you're making. I think a lot of people struggle with, having this big goal, but then not having small steps, and you are doing those small steps, and you're making something shift slowly and sustainably. And I'm impressed with your planning and your commitment. And I agree with you that making these small changes and these creative little shifts that you're making is a great way to improve your health and your energy and your pain management. So I suggest that you continue doing what works for you, because you're doing a lot that is working. Like, you're on your way. And also pay attention to what else that you're doing that you haven't noticed yet that might also be working for you. So as you're going through the day, there may be things that you're doing that you're not even aware of that are helping to improve, this commitment and making things better in your life. And one final question I have for you: where are you going to put your smoothie maker?
I'm actually going to give it its own little space and not crowd it with anything. So I'm going to take a little square cupboard and just clear it off. The other good thing is I'm moving the brownies farther away now again. So let's just keep moving those till they're gone. So that's where I'm going to put it.
Great. Thanks again, Ryan. I appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you.